Good evening and welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, July 11th, 2019. Our top stories tonight: the unveiling of an indoor digital billboard advertising option for city businesses to promote themselves at Government Center. An update on overdose deaths in the city due to a potentially fatal drug combination being sold on city streets. And on a lighter note, we take a peek at how well the free summer lunch in the park program is faring this year. We'll have these stories and more, but first let's check in with Phil Devitt from the Fall River Herald News. Hey Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Donna. Good to be with you.
Yes, we were talking about it's summertime and it's relatively slow news-wise, but that doesn't mean there's a lot happening in the city. And even though we're in the month of July, the preliminary election in Fall River is fast approaching in just about 8 weeks in September. Why don't you give us the rundown of the nomination papers, some that were due on Wednesday, I believe?
Yeah, Donna, you know, we've been at Government Center every couple of days for what feels like the last several weeks or months, checking on who's taking out nomination papers, who's turning them in, that kind of thing. And sometimes it's like going fishing. You're not guaranteed to come back with any catches. It could be quiet for several days at a time. But you know that you're approaching the deadline when things start to pick up, and that's certainly been the case in the last week or two here. We have seen a couple of other people join the mayoral race. Of course, Mayor Jazel Correa and Paul Coogan planning to go head-to-head again. But another familiar name from the recall election earlier this year, Erica Scott Pacheco, and a newcomer named Angel Pantoja have also entered that race. So there will be a preliminary election for sure. September the 21st, I believe, is the date on that. And then meanwhile, city council-wise, you've got 20 people who took out nomination papers. They have until the end of business on Friday to turn those papers in. But so far, as of our last count, only 6 people were on the ballot. So we're sure that's bound to change over the course of the day Thursday and Friday, and we'll have a brand new updated story to tell people. But it's heating up fast. We're going to see a lot of campaign signs and out there on the lawns this summer and into the fall. And boom, before you know it, it'll be November 5th, the citywide election.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Now, I know the school committee is all set. There will not be a preliminary election in September. That there's nobody who's running in that race.
Right.
But the city council, there's how many people to date? 6, you said, took out papers?
So as of our last count, which was yesterday, this could have changed by the time people hear this, but as of our last count, only 6 people were on the ballot, meaning that they had turned in their nomination papers, they'd checked all the boxes, but that's no doubt bound to change. And in order for the city council to have a preliminary election, 19 candidates need to file papers. So
that's right. It has to be
we're
double.
expecting it to get a little bit busier between now and the end of the week.
And I know one of the old city councilors, I shouldn't say old, but Linda Pereira has thrown her hat in the ring for a city council seat. She's been a city councilor for decades here in Fall River, so I know she's planning to run again. And Steve Camara, as of right now, has not taken out papers, but again, it's Thursday.
Again, it's Thursday, I mean, I don't want to underestimate people's ability to go out and collect signatures and do what they need to do. Wednesday was the last day to take out papers, which, if anybody did, left them with a very small window of 48 hours to check off, again, all the boxes they need to in order to get on the ballot. But Linda Pereira, former councilor, is one of the 6 that we mentioned who is officially on the ballot as of this conversation.
And of course, the Board of Elections is urging all residents who have not registered to vote in the upcoming election to do so as soon as possible. People were supposed to, of course, fill out the city census, which is done annually. And if you want to make sure that you're able to vote, you have to make sure that you're registered to vote here in the city. And again, the preliminary election in Fall River is coming up on September 21st with the final election on Tuesday, November 5th. Moving on. Marijuana is back in the news. No surprise there, huh, Phil? The Board of Health is reconsidering who, or which businesses, I should say, can sell marijuana accessories, and they're rethinking a previous decision, I understand.
That's correct, Donna. You know, this is something to watch for sure. It might feel a bit like deja vu. I was just reading a story about this morning, and I said, didn't I already read this a few weeks ago? But no, that's not the case. You might remember a few months back, all the talk was about this ban, essentially, on sales of marijuana accessories at stores that are not dispensaries. So that leaves open a lot of stores here in the city. Immediately, you might remember there was pushback, but there were also a lot of questions that came up as a result of this, because the terminology attached to, quote, marijuana accessories was pretty vague. Nobody really had a firm interpretation of what that meant. So much to the happiness of business owners and possibly consumers out there, the Board of Health rescinded that vote. Now they're looking at revisiting it, but not jumping back in, to the same regulation as it was worded. In fact, a woman named Cheryl Sparra, who is an attorney with the Massachusetts Association of Health Boards, was in the city this week to meet with Fall River health officials. And she said that retooling this regulation might mean that, yes, these businesses would still be allowed to sell these marijuana accessories, but that there might be some safeguards put in place or suggested about, where products can be located in the stores, versus spots that, they might consider hazardous or potentially attracting young people who are not allowed to buy those products, possibly putting them behind the counter, that kind of thing. So there is a conversation to be had for sure. No decision has been made firmly, and in fact, you have health agents that you have the Board of Health sort of mixed on this from what we can gather. One member, Daniel Souza, decided to play devil's advocate, to use his words, and he sort of talked about this former regulation kind of creating what he called a capitalistic marketplace and excluding people. And that was certainly the view of the opponents of this regulation for a long time. It remains to be seen how they would respond to this retooled regulation. So we're going to keep watch on that.
Very good. I know the convenience store owners are very concerned because, again, they sell those products, and I know they've been at every board meeting, except for last time, I believe, just their attorney showed up. But we'll, keep abreast of that as well. Now, from marijuana, let's talk about fundraising efforts to help the homeless here in Fall River. There's a 5K walk coming up to support First Step In, which is a homeless shelter here in the city. And I believe it's coming up in August, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, this is a positive thing, one of many positive things happening here in the city. It's called the Get Step In 5K Walk, which people might be familiar with, and it's set for Saturday, August 10th, 9:15 a.m., which will be here before we know it. Summer just seems to fly by. And, of course, it's sponsored by Stepping Stone, and it will start and finish at the First Step In, which is at 134 Durfee Street. And it's a very beautiful course, so you kind of keep your fingers crossed for nice weather. It'll go right along the waterfront at Heritage State Park. And while you're getting your exercise in, burning some calories, you know that you're supporting a good cause because any funds raised go to support Fall River's homeless shelter operated by Stepping Stone and provide homeless people with educational opportunities, counseling, healthy meals, of course, shelter and other services. So this is a good thing. And it's not just for people who are going to be walking and running. If you want to participate, Stepping Stone's also looking for volunteers to help put this whole thing together. And they have given us their phone number, which is 508-567-5086, and their website, steppingstoneinc.org. So a lot of windows into an opportunity to help out a great cause in this community.
Yes, people don't think about homelessness as being a problem necessarily in the summer. Usually, of course, it's the winter when people really focus in on homelessness. But as you said, those funds will be going to help the shelters and other programs that are offered to people in need. So thank you for that update, Phil. Now, what's coming up over the weekend?
So you might have heard about New Bedford having some big problems with its municipal computer system. Basically, a virus infected it and shut it down for the last several days. So we're taking a look at the computer infrastructure here in the city of Fall River to see what safeguards are in place to prevent something like that from happening here anytime soon. So we'll have that story very soon.
Very good. That's actually a very interesting angle. Thank you very much for that. All right, this is Phil Devitt from the Fall River Herald News. You'll be back with Keith next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Donna.
Thanks. Bye-bye. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Chief Executive Officer. Fall River Boys and Girls Club, located at 803 Bedford Street, is in need of a full-time Chief Executive Officer to lead the overall planning and operation of the organization while providing leadership, direction, and support to the Board of Directors. Job number 123-51012. Security Guard. Seven Hills Foundation, located at 1402 Pleasant Street, is looking for a part-time security guard responsible for ensuring the safety and security of all clients and staff at the facility. Job number 123-51505. Material Handler. Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, is looking for a part-time material handler to work in a fast-paced, cold environment, operating a forklift and pallet jack and completing required paperwork. Job number 123-48150. Arbor Counseling Services, located at 1082 Davall Street, is looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Compliance Director, job number 123-47471. In-Home Clinician, job number 123-47455. Amazon, located at 1080 Industrial Way, is also looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Order Checker, job number 123-45527. Warehouse Operator, job number 123-45529. For more information on these or other positions, visit masshiredjobquest.detma.org or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. At a press conference this week, Fall River Mayor Jaziel Correa announced his administration is entering into a public-private partnership agreement to help promote local businesses via digital billboard advertising. The marketing screens will be set up on walls throughout Government Center and managed by a local company called Interstate Public Advertising. Here's more.
What is an indoor digital billboard? You're going to get some more details, but essentially it is what it sounds like. It's a screen on each floor in high traffic areas of Government Center that display local advertisement from community businesses, area banks, various different companies that different people may utilize. And it's a really great way to promote local business. But in addition to promoting local business to the numerous thousands of people that utilize City Hall daily and monthly, it's also a great way to showcase local businesses and create a revenue stream, an alternative revenue stream for the city. And you've been hearing this team, this financial team, and this administration say that for 3.5 years now about finding alternative revenue streams that do not dip into the taxpayers' pockets. So instead of creating new fees like trash fees, this is another way to collect revenue for the city that is really a low impact and really high return for the city.
Right now at 60 locations, including the city of Fall River. This is a great location for local businesses to brand their business right at the City Hall. Many people I've heard say sometimes, like, well, there might not be as much traffic. Well, it's not just so much for the traffic only, but it's targeting your audience. You could go to the second floor of the city clerk's office. You can go to the collector's office. The first floor where the elevators are. There's quite a bit of traffic there as well. Each floor is geared to target your audience, and all for a small fee in comparison to other forms of advertising. Someone could advertise here and just on the 4th floor in the health department for as little as $100 a month. And it's a great way to brand yourself. And they can be seen 15 to 20 times an hour on a digital screen in the City Hall.
There have been cases of people buying marijuana laced with a potentially fatal drug, fentanyl, sold on streets in Fall River. Some of these purchases have tragically claimed the lives of several area residents recently, as we hear in this report.
Over the past few months, 5 cases of marijuana-laced fentanyl and edibles being laced with fentanyl. For 3 of them, they had no history of substance use, and for 2 of them, the person did have a history of substance use, but has always been very honest and open about what he's been overdosing on, and we do believe that it was edibles laced with fentanyl for those 2. And more recently, we've had a tragic young death where they had 0 history of substance use, and they only were able to find marijuana in the house, which was confiscated, and they're finally testing. They finally found some that they can be testing, so we're waiting on the results to confirm or deny whether that truly was the first sample collected.
The question that some people have been asking me is, why would somebody even do that?
So what we're hearing is that some people were specifically requesting for the marijuana to be laced with that, and unfortunately when you do that you cannot control who it's going to, and it is going far beyond the reach of what it was intended to do, or who they were supposed to be going to. Also, some people say that it doesn't make sense financially, but sprinkling fentanyl would cost about 10 cents. So obviously it's much more potent. People that are unaware that it's actually fentanyl that they're smoking, they think they're getting a great high and they're coming back. So we're not exactly sure why it started, but we're seeing fentanyl laced in every drug. It's not just marijuana, cocaine, meth, MDMA, it's everywhere right now.
On a lighter note, the summer reading program kicked off at the Fall River Public Library at the start of this week. Designed to encourage area youngsters to keep up with their reading skills over the next couple of months, they can also earn money in the process.
We will also be out here during the events for the summer, and we will be giving you information on our summer reading program, which is our Reading Makes Sense program. We're going into our 11th year, and this is for children entering grades 1 through 8. And it's just a way for us to help encourage children to continue reading as well as learn how to save, because Rockland Trust will give you $2, or the children $2.50 for each book they read, and log in a journal up to 10 books, so they can earn money into a savings account. So again, we're just honored to be here throughout the summer, and look forward to the wonderful events that will be happening.
And as happens every year, the free summer lunch in the park program, sponsored in part by Greater Fall River Recreation, is entering its 3rd week, or I should say has entered its 3rd week. Here's an update.
Attendance has been wonderful. We have our 9 parks and 5 housing developments that we're serving lunches at. Numbers have been surprisingly higher than last year, the first few weeks, and kids seem to be enjoying the lunches as well as the different activities that we're offering. The program is running from 11 to 3 at all the sites. Again, if folks need to come and need to check out the sites, they are welcome to visit our webpage, gfrrec.org, or they're welcome to call our office. We have many friendly individuals here at our office that can answer many questions about the lunch program and many of our other summer programs that just started this week.
Can you tell us what some of the food is?
So we have some hot meals and some cold meals. Every meal, every lunch has a sandwich, or tomorrow we're having chicken Caesar salad. They also have to have a milk, fruit, and a vegetable. So it's a nice variety of different items throughout the week. They get cheeseburger, chicken tenders, a fun pack with yogurt and a fruit and vegetable. It's just a nice variety, and we're happy to be working with the Fall River School Department and Whitson's, who prepare the lunches for us year after year.
We'll be back right after this.
Thank you for considering a homeless pet today. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see, and as always, please feel free to contact the shelter before coming down to make sure that the pets you're viewing are still available for adoption. We can be reached at 508-677-9154.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Dolly Parton, in fact, we named her. She's about 1.5 years. As you can see, she's a Persian, hence that smushed in face right there. You can see right now she's just kind of soaking up all the attention that I can give to her. She's a very, very nice cat. When she came to us, she had, you can see back here, a little bit of thinning fur. So not necessarily the greatest condition when she first came in, but it's growing back. She's actually looking quite good right now. She's a very versatile cat, and especially if you like Persians, she's got a really nice face. So if you'd like to come down and meet Dolly here, come to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Today we have guinea pigs, these cute little babies. We have a number of guinea pigs to choose from at Forever Paws. These two are just some of my favorites. This is a dad and his son. Guinea pigs are very easy to care for. They require hay all the time, Timothy hay. They require guinea pig pellets. The babies require youth pellets. They also require fruits and vegetables. If you are interested in adopting a guinea pig, like I said, we have many to choose from, quite the variety. Please come on down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Mass.
The Fall River Historical Society is planning to hold its concert series once again this year, beginning on Saturday, August 10th. This first band is a big band jazz and swing musical team.
And that is going to be the Nightlife Orchestra. It's a 13-piece big band with a vocalist. It's hugely successful. We usually get about 400 people for that concert, so that should be a great night.
And where will it be held?
It's going to be held right here, 451 Rock Street, the Historical Society. On the Maple Street side of the property, Maple Street will be closed off between High and Rock. So it's great. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, and just get a good spot, and you'll be good from 6:30 to 8:30.
Why should people come out?
Because it's a great night. There are great people that attend. It's a wonderful audience, and the music is great. We have a full bar. We have hot dogs. We have hamburgers. It's just you want to kill two hours on a Saturday night or Sunday if it's a rain day, then come on by.
That's it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can catch FRC Media News Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m., but our online news site is available 24/7 at frcmedianews.org. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Donna Mata. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.